The radio in Officer Martinez's cruiser sputtered to life, the dispatcher's voice tight with alarm. Maple Grove Estates, Willow Street address. Caller reports a large, aggressive dog terrorizing the neighborhood and refusing to leave her yard. Martinez raised an eyebrow at his partner, Officer Chen, who smirked and shook his head. Another Karen versus dog episode in the land of perfectly trimmed hedges. They expected chaos when they rolled up. Maybe a lunging pit bull or a barking mastiff. Instead, they found a statuesque German shepherd planted like a statue in the middle of the manicured lawn, staring with laser focus at a small shed tucked behind. Karen Fitzgerald's pristine colonial. The dog didn't twitch, didn't growl. He simply watched the shed the way he used to watch warehouse doors back when he wore a badge himself. My name is Marcus Sullivan. That German shepherd is Titan, my partner of 15 years, and the best K9 this side of the Mississippi. 3 months ago, I hung up my own badge, cashed my pension, and moved us into Maple Grove Estate. It's looking for quiet streets and zero drama. I should have known better. Drama here wears yoga pants and carries a clipboard. Karen Fitzgerald, self-appointed Empress of the HOA, took one look at Titan and decided he was a walking violation of every rule she'd ever invented. She was on my porch, smile stretched so thin it could slice bread. My, what a big dog for our little community, Mr. Sullivan. I do hope you've read Section 14B of the Covenants. Leashes, muzzles, decibel limits, the whole song and dance. I showed her Titan's service papers, his commendation, and the citation from the mayor for finding that missing 6-year-old. She glanced at them the way she'd glance at junk mail, then tapped her pen against her board. Rules are rules, even for heroes. After that, the complaints poured in like clockwork. Titan barked at 8:03 p.m. He didn't. Titan intimidated little Madison. Madison had actually been feeding him treats. Titan's mere existence lowered property values. Every other day, Karen materialized at my door, lips pursed, documenting imaginary offenses with the fervor of a war correspondent. Then Titan started acting strangely on our walks. He'd slow in front of Karen's house, head high, nostrils flaring, the same posture he used to get right before we kicked in a door and found 50 kilos of heroin. I figured he smelled her spoiled cat, Mr. Whiskers, and tugged him along. But every morning, the pull grew stronger, the focus sharper. Word around the neighborhood barbecue pit was that things had been disappearing for months. Bikes, lawnmowers, patio heaters, even Mrs. Johnson's heirloom bird bath. Thousands of dollars gone. Police reports filed. Nothing ever recovered. Everyone grumbled, and nobody had answers. Until that Tuesday morning, Titan and I were halfway down Willow when his body went rigid, hackles half raised, every muscle locked. For the first time in his life, he ignored my heel command and shot forward like he'd been fired from a cannon. I jogged after him, shouting his name, heart hammering. He blew past Karen's picket fence, rounded the corner, and slammed to a perfect sit in front of her shed, nose aimed dead center at the padlocked door. Passive alert. The same alert that once netted us a fugitive hiding in an attic. Another time, a kidnapped teenager locked in a storage unit. Karen burst onto her deck in a peach robe and fury. Get that monster off my property this instant. I'm calling 911. This is trespassing. This is harassment. She waved her phone like a weapon, while Titan sat calm as a statue, eyes never leaving that shed door, telling me louder than any bark ever could. Whatever had of Roe and Maple Grove had lost. It was all just got found. Your vicious animal is completely out of control. Karen screeched, clutching her robe like a shield. I kept my voice steady and called Titan back to heel. He obeyed, but slowly, throwing one last meaningful glance at the shed. Karen, I'm sorry for the intrusion. Titan's never broken position like this in his life. But when he alerts that way passive, dead certain, it means he's found something worth finding. Her face darkened to an alarming shade of plum. Are you threatening me? Are you accusing me of hiding drugs or bodies, or whatever it is your mutt thinks he smells? I'll have that dog seized and euthanized before sundown. The 911 call she made right there on the deck was Oscar worthy. Through the open air, I heard every embellishment. Titan lunging at her, snarling, trying to claw through the shed door. Me deliberately sicking him on her private property like some vigilante. I just stood there, hand resting lightly on Titan's collar, waiting. Good dogs and good evidence have a way of winning in the end. Martinez and Chen rolled up fast, lights flashing but no siren standard for animal calls that might turn ugly. They approached with hands hovering near holsters, eyes scanning for danger. One look at Titan, sitting statue still beside him. And their shoulders dropped a notch. Officers, I said evenly. Marcus Sullivan, retired K-9 sergeant. Riverside PD. This is Titan, my old partner. 15 years on the job. Not a single false alert. He's telling us there's something important in that shed. Karen exploded again. I don't care if he used to sniff out Bin Laden. This is my property. That beast is trespassing. Chen lifted a calm hand. Ma'am, we're going to need to take a look inside the shed. Over my dead body. You need a warrant. I know my rights. I'll sue every one of you for harassment. That's when Tom strolled over from next door. Phone already extended. Officers, my backyard camera catches the corner of her yard. You're gonna want to see this. He played the clips right there on the lawn. Night vision footage. A woman in Karen's unmistakable robe hauling a kid's mountain bike toward the shed. Another clip, Karen wrestling with the rolled-up hose reel and a stack of planters. A third showed her dragging two teak patio chairs that I recognized as the Johnsons. Martinez watched without expression, then turned to Karen. Ma'am, between this video and the K-9 alert, we have probable cause. Please open the shed. The change in her was instant and total. The iron-fisted HOA queen deflated like a punctured pool float. You can't. This is illegal. I'll have your jobs. Her voice cracked, the threats shrinking to whispers. Chen was already on the radio requesting backup and bolt cutters. The snap of the lock breaking rang out like a judge's gavel. When the door swung wide, even from 20 feet away, the contents were unmistakable. Bikes piled like cordwood, patio sets disassembled and stacked. Tools hanging in neat rows, planters, grills. Wheelbarrows, everything the neighborhood had reported missing for half a year. But the real kicker was the pegboard on the far wall. Dozens of labeled keys dangling from hooks. Each tag written in Karen's precise cursive: house numbers, garage side doors, gate codes, master keys to half the subdivision. Martinez let out a low whistle. Well, damn. The cuffs went on with that satisfying metallic click. It's not what you think. Karen babbled as Chen recited her rights. I was holding these items for safekeeping. People are so careless leaving expensive things out where anyone could take them. A HOA president, it was my duty to secure them until. Her excuses grew wilder with every step toward the cruiser. The crowd of neighbors that had gathered onto sidewalks watched in stunned silence as their petty tyrant was folded into the back seat. Still protesting through the window. Only when the cruiser pulled away did Titan's tail start thumping a slow, satisfied rhythm against my leg. Job well done, old friend. The stories came flooding out after that. Years of arbitrary fines, threats of liens over unapproved paint colors, and inspections scheduled to catch people at work. Everyone had suffered under Karen's rule, but nobody had imagined she'd been robbing them blind the whole time. The full investigation tallied over $50,000 in stolen property. She was charged with multiple counts of burglary, receiving stolen goods, and trespass. At arraignment, Judge Harper set bail at $100,000 and noted the maximum sentence could reach 15 years. Karen's final shriek, 15 years, echoed through the courtroom as deputies led her away, her little empire of clipboards and covenants reduced to nothing but handcuffs and a jumpsuit.